All right, guys, so this is going to be never before seen footage. This is me and zallard1 doing our first ever completed run of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, 2 players, 1 controller, blindfolded. Now, there is no cam, so you're not going to see. You're going to have to trust and believe that we were actually blindfolded, but we didn't find it necessary to blindfold ourselves during practice. We know that we're like closing our eyes. Yeah. Like we're not, like, if you cheat there, you're just cheating yourself. There's no point. There's no point.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is it, guys. Get ready. It's gonna be something.
Yep.
All right. So we'll do some commentary. This will be kind of, again, new to us as well. And I mean, Glass Joe, there's really nothing to it. Thankfully, I don't think we ever had a mess up on Glass Joe.
Not in like unintentionally. Yeah. Like we did intentionally, just to have fun with it. But yeah, Glass Joe's Glass Joe, as you would expect.
Yep, Glass Joe's Glass Joe. There's nothing to it. Only I can mess up Glass Joe, guys, because I'm on the buttons, right? So I've got select, start. Oh, nice. Well, okay, that's a thing.
I'm not sure if that was like in the VOD or just like
no, video. it's probably the video's freaking out a little bit.
Okay.
My CPU is probably not super happy right now.
Yeah, probably wouldn't.
Yeah. Okay. So Joe goes down in 42. Everything's fine. On to Von Kaiser. This is another standard strat here. I mean, there are a few things that can go wrong, but generally, like, the first phase is going to be pretty easy.
Yeah.
We're not going to mess this up too often. This is more just like a mental thing. The execution here is pretty simple. So, you know, you're always going to get that 23 first phase unless something goes horribly, horribly wrong.
Pretty much. Honestly, it would have been kind of fun if something went wrong. It wouldn't be fun for the estimate, but
no. So yeah, we got hit there. But again, Von Kaiser, it's not a big deal. So one of the things that you guys should know is that getting hit in the earlier fights, like the first, I would say 7 or 8 fights, not as much of a big deal. Getting hit in the later fights, massive deal.
Yes.
So this was actually fine, and this was all improvised. There's no strategy here. Like, Zallard just got some stars. I used some stars. You know, we did the thing. Von Kaiser's down. It's fine.
Yeah, Kaiser's just not even a remote threat to us, even if we mess up like a lot. If he knocked us down even somehow, like I don't think he'd even have a chance still.
Not a threat. He's very easy to pick up stars from. You know, you can dodge, punch, star punch him. He goes down.
Yeah.
So Honda 1 is actually the first difficult fight of the run because we do have to open with gutters. Thankfully, if you miss the gutters, we would eventually find that the backup strats aren't too bad. Here, we were able to hit them, so you're able to get those 3 stars right off the bat into a buffer.
Yeah.
We do have to do a gutter to get the first knockdown, which is tricky. This one is tricky.
This hook that he threw is important to point out because, you know, it doesn't happen for us in our run.
That's true.
Yeah, our run was totally different.
That hook is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Like 90% of the time, probably.
Yeah, no, we got the marathon luck for sure there. But this is what we were planning to do if that didn't happen. So we manipulated his guard at the end of phase 1, and then Sinister would get a free star during phase 2 and knock him down with that.
And we managed to get the gutters again. So pretty good situation here. We didn't get fast enough. You can actually beat him before that 1 minute, but it's not a big deal at all. And then
oh, this is nice. Now people can see like what to do here.
Backup strats.
Yep. We were ready.
We were ready. Zallard knew. He knew how many times he had to block. We had a nice little buffer dodge there just in case. So we were prepared. So you can see, you know, minor circuit, things didn't go particularly well, but we were still able to win in round 1 easily. So that's not the case later on in the run. If you make mistakes, you're punished much harder.
Yes.
So, you know, the last truly easy fight is going to be Don Flamenco coming up. You guys know, it's, you know, it's the same strat since Zallard found it back in what, 2013? I don't know.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very old strat. Works like a charm.
Yep.
The first buffer strat.
Technically, I think Glass Joe was before that, but this was the first like significant one. This is the first one that was like, oh, we need to rethink the entire game.
You're right. That is accurate. Yeah, so the other thing that you guys should know is that we actually didn't spend much time at all on the early fights because we realized how difficult the back half of the game was. So we focused almost all of our practice on those later fights, and that's kind of part of the reason you probably saw us not doing as well on Von Kaiser and Piston Honda is because we just practiced them so rarely. And I think we were practicing our banter.
Yeah.
Our little back and forth, which you guys will see, because you're probably wondering, what are you guys doing?
Like, just why are you waiting there?
Yeah, we were having a little banter back and forth that you can't even hear because there's probably no mic audio from this. Hopefully you guys can hear the game audio, but yeah, you guys will see you'll see there's a callback to it in our actual run.
Yeah.
So. All right, King Hippo. This is another guy that we should have practiced more than what we did.
No! Is this the fight that was bad?
It might be.
Oh no!
It might be.
Oh no!
I think right now we were probably having a discussion of what we're gonna do in the fight because there's some options.
I think the problem was our strat was wrong. Well, we'll find out depending on what I do first.
Okay, I'm gonna turn the game audio up just a little bit. People are saying they can't hear it that well, so.
Yeah, somehow I got hit.
All right, so I drained the hearts.
Oh boy.
This is
it.
Oh boy.
This is the sadness.
So Zallard is, you might notice, dodging to the left.
Yeah.
We would find out that is maybe not correct.
No, right dodges.
Right dodge is actually correct.
We had remembered incorrectly, and then we had, I think at that point at least, we were still committing to left dodges. So yeah, Hippo's like just giving us a rough time.
This
one heart
is a beatdown. This is a beatdown. All right, we finally got a punch in.
Yes.
I think I tried to communicate to Zallard that we only had one heart, but I don't think he got the memo in time. And then somehow Hippo did not go back into his other thing. Oh my god, I almost did not punch him in time.
Oh no.
That is terrifying. I was like, are we about to go down right here? Oh man.
Yeah, I think the reason you hesitated was because you kind of knew that, like, subconsciously that the strat was wrong and you were trying to make up for it.
So round 2 exists, you guys. You may not have realized this, but round 2 is a thing. Yeah, the fight actually goes past round.
Oh yeah, we did the menu.
The random menu. Yes, we're exposed, man. We were playing on Power Pack. Exposed.
Yeah, so with Power Pack, sometimes you press start and then it'll just randomly bring up the menu.
Yes.
And it actually kind of frustrated us because it took us out of the game and was just like, wait, is that the menu?
It happened most frequently, I think, on Macho.
Yes. Because you would buffer a star punch.
And Soda.
Yeah.
Those are the two, and it's like, those are fights you need it to not happen.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. I think we finally got in our groove. We finally figured out what we were doing. Looks like maybe we're gonna beat King Hippo here. Hopefully. There's no guarantee of winning any of these matches, guys. You have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, Hippo down. Hippo down. So yeah, Great Tiger is another fight that isn't too difficult, but this was, again, lack of practice. We might make some embarrassing mistakes. We'll see. We might ace the fight. This fight is strictly just like memorization. The execution in this fight's very elementary, but if you don't remember what to do, then bad things can happen. So we'll find out. We'll find out together, everybody. Let's see.
I mean, there's one particular punch we would mess up if it happens.
Yeah. I know which one you're talking about. Coming up pretty soon here. Not this one.
Not this one.
The next
This one.
Oh, we got it.
We got it.
It's over, dude.
It's over.
Get owned, Tiger. All right, we had at least a couple good fights in the run.
Yeah.
We did what we aimed to do on like 3 of the first 6 fights.
We did have attempts where like Tiger was not this.
Oh yeah, for sure. There were lots of attempts that did not go well. But this is one that did, so that's exactly according to plan. Next up is Bald Bull. Bald Bull is not an easy fight. there are things that you need to remember in certain parts of the fight.
Like blocking.
Blocking is not normally something you do very much in single segment runs of this game, you know? It's more about, you know, dodge and punch and counter punch and so on. But some of the buffer strats actually call for blocking. It's a necessity. Zallard is not much for blocking. He's not much for blocking. He doesn't like to block. He would rather attack. And I don't blame him, you know? It's better to go on offense than to play defense, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see if Zallard remembers to block or not. It's a question. It's a question mark in both of our minds. We got phase 1 at least. We got phase one.
Yeah, for whatever reason, like, I had a hard time remembering to block at this, like, moment.
Yeah. So
after these face punches.
Yeah, we're going to open with these face punches. Oh, we only got one of them.
I remembered.
You remember to block. Okay, see, this is how you knew that things were turning in the right direction.
Yeah.
Zallard remembering to block there is crucial. Unfortunately, we have, like, no stars. Uh-oh. Oh, there's a star. That's not how you're supposed to get that star, but, you know, we got a star.
No, that's not how it was supposed to be.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
This is going well.
Oh, nice. We didn't know we went pink there. I'm certain of that.
Oh, boy. All right, second knockdown. Second knockdown, guys. So, remember, bull charge is at 2 minutes. It's coming. We have a vague idea that it's coming. We know we have not done very well.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, you know, we're going to get this buffer. Get the star, use it. Oh yeah, 2 minutes is coming.
Uh-oh.
There is no avoiding the 2 minutes. Yeah. Maybe uppercut.
No, he's an uppercut, dude. But he got him.
The clutch! I clutched it out. I did not hit that punch all that often, guys. It's a tough one. That is a very, very tough counter to do. So I'm surprised that I got it there in our PB.
Yeah,
that makes me happy.
It's good.
So even if I didn't get it, we probably still would have beat him because we would have been able to get up and take him down. He does another bull charge at 2 minutes and 30 though, so it would have been a little dicey, but I think we had him.
Yeah, I think it would have been fine because he had like no health.
Yeah.
We would have just done the buffer and then probably the first punch or two would have gotten him.
I think so. So that's half the game down right there, guys. We're coming into the back half. The first fight is pretty free. Piston Honda 2. As long as you don't mess up the buffer, which we did do, by the way.
We messed up the buffer, and then that prompted us to research a backup buffer for round 2.
Yes.
We had a buffer for Honda 2 round 2.
Yes. Because he will do his kamikaze attack again. I think it's at 30 or 40 seconds.
It's like 30 seconds, I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, if you mess up this buffer, there is still hope. It's not, all is not lost. But it's a pretty simple buffer. You got to do the first 20 punches. Zallard's going to dodge 10 times. These are all buffered, you know. I'm going to punch 9 times. It's all buffered. Looking good so far. Okay. All right. We didn't screw that up. So I would say so far, this run's okay.
It's okay.
This run's fine.
Hippo was not good.
Yeah.
But everything else has been...
Yeah, Hippo gave us a little bit of a problem, but overall, like, we haven't lost any fights. We've executed some of the easier fights the way that we needed to in terms of, like, him, Don Flamenco, you know, Glass Joe, Great Tiger. Like, we all the basic fights we got.
Yeah.
So now is where it comes to the hard stuff. So Soda is up first. Soda was actually, he never really gave us that much problems in practice. Like, we really owned him, and we were fearful because, like, we both remember from single segment, he was not always so kind. You know, he would hit us a lot, but for whatever reason, he just really liked us in this. And one of the things that I figured out was that I needed to mash B when we get into that situation where we have to gutter him, because trying to time it manually was not working at all. And that was kind of what cracked the case on Soda. Because Zallard can just hold down, but he has to know that, you know, hey, this is when I need to let go. So by me mashing the button,
I get a visual and like tactile clue, like, okay, he's pressing it, let go. And then it also just works out because, like, when you're holding down, it cancels punches. So, you know, I had control of when we punch Soda, and that's key because we really need everything to be synced. It was an interesting...
Yeah, I think I just threw a random punch for no reason. That happened from time to time.
Yeah.
Probably made Zallard a little fearful of how things were going to go in the marathon. But this is fine. This is why we use select, is because we can, when you want to take a knockdown, because we know what he's going to do. He's going to immediately do that. We're going to do 2 of these just to make sure we have a star in any circumstance.
Yeah, so stars are basically random every other star, and then there's a guaranteed star every other one. So by countering 2 of those, we definitely have a star by the end of it.
Yeah, it's for
there's
sure.
no reaction or nothing to like complicate anything.
And then we're going to do the same thing here, select on Bull 2. Now, Bull 2 was Zallard's nightmare from AGDQ 16.
Yes.
We did immense preparation. We figured out like so many different scenarios, like how many hearts we're going to have, what we need to do buffer-wise, like how much damage we need to do. We had backups upon backups upon backups upon backups on this guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're going to need him in this particular fight.
We are, because
Okay, it looks like we're going to need
that
him.
dodge messed up. That was one of those like slightly quick dodges.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see. So okay, so we're in a situation where this is not good. We've taken a knockdown in a way that's not good, and we have not knocked him down once at all. So this is like kind of worst case scenario. But we do know at least that we can do so. That's one of our backup strats. That's the one where we know, okay, we're not gonna burn any hearts with this. We just need to land a star punch. There it is.
Yes. Yeah, we only do that when we have like a pretty good idea that his health is low, because we burn no hearts, and you know it's completely free on that part. But we get back into sync. Everything's working out fine. There's a random chance he could do ear rub into rolling jabs, and that's interesting. So we skipped bull charge there.
Skip the bull charge. That's actually kind of big because now we're set up for phase 3. Bull charge actually wastes a decent amount of time because we have to wait for him to charge twice.
Yes.
But now we don't have to wait at all. So now it's just a matter of, can we hit phase 3? And we'd spend a good amount of time practicing Bull 2 just because, like, we both knew, hey, this guy can really go off the rails. And there, speak of the devil.
Oh, you know what?
Rolling jabs.
even that doesn't mess us up, because I knew that if you didn't react to, not throwing Star Punch, that I blocked twice.
Yes.
That's key, because it's like if Sinister doesn't throw the Star Punch, I have to block 3 times.
Yes, it's different. So it's a weird situation for me to react to. I would try to react in time, but sometimes I wouldn't. So we had both backups. So now comes Don 2, which is my nightmare. This is the guy that totally trashed me in AGDQ 2016. So this is my revenge match. But I mean, ultimately, you can see how poorly Bull went off the rails, but we still handled him, which in AGDQ 2016 is the opposite of what happened. We were underprepared on our backup strats.
Yes, that's one like really big difference, is that the groundwork for Blindfolded was kind of set for us already, so we got even more time to focus on backups, and that was kind of really important for us.
That's what we needed, and that's a good phase 1 on Don. So this is a fight where you just have to really be patient. You can't rush, and when you have adrenaline or nerves and things like that, like this fight becomes so much more difficult than when you're just doing it casually.
Yes.
Like this fight's very basic. So Zallard actually ended up doing a quick dodge there. That's one of the tricky parts for Zallard, is he has to do a lot of full dodges, which doing a full dodge and then waiting long enough before you press up to do a face punch is actually much harder than you would think.
Yeah.
And that's why you will sometimes see if we get hit, that's usually what the case. That's what happened against Bull 2 as well. It was one of them. He was trying to do a full dodge, wanted to get that punch off. If you press up just that little bit too early, then you're going to get hit. So we ended up still in a decent situation here, and given his health, I think probably going to round 2 here.
Yeah, definitely round 2. I mean, look at this.
Oh yeah,
that's round 2 material right there.
This is bad. Okay. So the good news is that his health is low enough, and we had some ideas for round 2. We also had decided that if things went really badly, we were going to use the clock stop glitch.
Yes.
In against Don 2, because ultimately we needed to win this fight.
Yeah.
It's not a race, so it's not like you're not cheating or anything like that. Like we're just ensuring that we're going to win the fight. That's all it is.
Pretty much, yeah, because we really don't want to go to round 3. Round 3 is where he gets really aggressive. At least in round 2, we dictate the pace of the fight.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So this situation, we had agreed, like, if we get him down in the first 2 cycles, that we're just going to go with the normal strat. So I don't think we're going to be doing clock stop here.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think we're just going to kind of play it straight up. And then we may end up taking an intentional knockdown at some point, but
probably, especially considering like the heart count right here, and he's just not doing anything. Yeah.
Yep. Here comes the intentional. So what this allows us to do is to get a star and use it, which is something that you normally don't get to do. But he's going to throw a bunch of punches, so I'm just going to counter 7 times to the gut. You get at least 1 star. You can get a random star as well. And then you just go ahead and give him the business. Which, oh wow, was I actually smart enough to save the star? Okay.
Yes. We kind of knew that we wanted to save that.
All right. That was good. That's good because like you can see there's only 1:07 left in the round. That might seem like a lot, but the massive refills that Don 2 gets, it takes forever to drain them down with these stupid counter punch nonsense. So I think here I'm going to use a star.
Yep.
We might actually stop the clock here.
Yes.
Yeah, we did. That wasn't like completely intentional, but it's something that can happen when you use a star during the rapid punches. So we didn't need it. Obviously, I mean, the clock was stopped for maybe like 2 seconds or something.
It would have been, yeah. I mean, it all kind of works out.
Yeah, I think it's fine. So this run's actually, I mean, you know, besides Hippo, like we've beaten everybody in round 1, but now we're getting into the tough fights. Now we're getting to the point. Sandman, we had kind of gone back and forth on this about, you know, how do we want to handle Sandman? And I was a little more adamant about like, hey, I think you should do the manual dodges rather than the buffer, because the buffer, it requires 2 of those full dodges, which are already hard to do. And you have to do it so many times.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but I like wasn't consistent at them. And there's also just a weird property where like if you're a frame too slow or a frame too fast on the buffer, it just fails the right dodge into left dodge buffer. So that mixed with the fact that the alternate quick dodge input is, you know, 1 dodge and then opposite dodge, which also happened. You know, if I messed up the quick dodge, then we'd also get hit. So it figured just like, you know, at least in terms of the marathon, like I was decent at just dodging normally. So ended up just doing that.
And it looks like we might... Oh no, we were just short. We were just 1 HP short. We could have skipped the Dreamland there. We didn't. So this is definitely going to round 2. No chance of round 1 victory here.
Yeah.
Oh well. But that was good though. You could see Zallard was able to do the manual dodges, and I knew he could do them because he had done it in 2016. I think that's how I actually eventually convinced you. I was like, you did it in your 2016 run. You're like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
I'll go for it. But I mean, I had confidence in him that he was gonna hit it. That's the real, you know, that's the reasoning behind it.
Yeah, I mean, at least in terms of this run, we didn't really have any intentional ways to skip the Dreamland Express. That was found out later, somewhat by mistake, but you know, that seems to be the trend. Like mistakes ended up giving us the best strats.
That's speedrunning in a nutshell, man.
Yeah.
That's how glitches are found. That's how new strats are found. Yeah. It's great. It's great when that happens. It just because it forces you to think outside the box. You know, you have this predetermined plan of what you're gonna do, and it's like, this is a way to get away from that.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how round 2 goes, because we had, I can't remember at what point, but we figured out that there was a good buffer for the Dreamland Express in round 2.
Yes.
So I don't know if we know by now or not. We'll see. Probably.
I want to say at this point we probably had it down because, you know, this was really close to when we had to go for AGDQ. And the thing is, we ended up realizing that the buffer in round 1 doesn't really work for round 2. Like, for whatever reason, the opportunities are different. Like, the delays are different with Sandman. So, you know, 2 jabs into dodges, which was Sinister's strategy from AGDQ 2014, works just fine. Except that one. I think it was like a 2 out of 3 odds or something to that effect, where it worked out, but it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, in this situation, it shouldn't work because were like staggered punches.
Yeah, it was a little tough, but you know, it was something we had in our back pocket in case we needed it, and it's not gonna work this time because he did the long delay.
I think I remember this fight now. We were really frustrated because we're just like, we're getting the worst luck every time.
Yeah, but he's still down, so you know, it's just a matter of, so is he going to cooperate this time or not?
This was the situation where it's like, if he gives us the bad luck again, we basically lose. And we didn't have hearts.
My god. And then it's impossible to dodge here. It's like... Yeah, there's just no chance. Oh, thank goodness.
We did have another knockdown.
Thank goodness. I was like, are we done? All right, he's got to give it to us here. Thank
there
goodness,
it is. There it
dude.
is.
Thank goodness.
We're not liars.
All right. Thank
I didn't
goodness.
just say that for nothing. He just kind of wanted to hit us a lot in that fight.
So if we had had more time to prepare, I'm very confident that we could have found a buffer that would work for it, because it is the longest delay is the one that hits you.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty confident we could have found a way around it. We didn't have time. We were pressed for time. We knew it worked on 2 out of the 3 that were like, okay, we got to go with that, because we have other fights that are more dangerous that we need to make sure we're good on, like Macho, for instance.
Macho was a fight where we just had tremendous trouble syncing up everything, because there's a lot of max damage uppercuts and, you know, gutter punches, and it's like, for us, like, gutter punches weren't really happening for us. Just this buffer was working for us after the ducks. Oh, we still did 3 and 2 here.
Yep, 3 and 2. So we eventually made that 3 and 3 just for consistency's sake. That one punch is an extra punch that's not necessary, but it just made the feeling of it more consistent.
Yeah.
So Macho has destroyed us. Now, we weren't overly concerned at this point. We've definitely gotten knocked down by Macho plenty of times before. It's actually very common. But it's like, if you don't recover well, then it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
So
and it kind of sucks for us in this situation because...
oh boy.
Yeah.
I started throwing star punches for some reason. I thought... This is where we did not have the mind meld going on. Like, I was thinking, for some reason, we had a predetermined plan of what we were going to do, but, like, because I kept missing it, I was like, oh, maybe Zallard will know that I'm going to do something else, and it was just, it wasn't good. So we're in a bind here. We're definitely in a bind here. This is not where you want to be against Macho.
Oof, we have one heart.
So unlucky. That's really unlucky. It would have been better there if we had 0. Wow. This is, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. You can only take 3 knockdowns against Macho, so even if we made it to round 2, if we get knocked down one more time, it's over.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like, this is where it's like do or die. Oh man, that was just ill-advised by me.
Yeah.
I should not have thrown that star punch. I don't know what I was thinking.
So one thing about Macho was we actually wanted the bad pattern, like the quote-unquote bad pattern for single segment, because mini spins are really hard for us to deal with. So it's really significant to point that out, because in AGDQ 2020, we got the mini spin pattern, and we did like the ideal strat for it.
Yeah, but now you want the bad pattern. So we had agreed beforehand that if this happened in the marathon, we were just going to use the password.
Yes.
So that's what we end up doing here. We're just going to password back. There's no reason to go back and fight Don 2 and Sandman again in a marathon run. That's just a waste of people's time. Like, it's not interesting.
Yeah.
But we figure, you know, we're going to use the entire estimate as much as we can. Oh, and then this happened. That was not...
Yeah, I couldn't remember the password.
I forgot about this.
Yeah, the fun password shenanigans.
This is, so we're blindfolded, guys. We don't know what the password is, man.
It's been so long since I used the Macho password that the muscle memory was just like kind of like, is this it?
There it is. All right, so we get back to Macho, and this time hopefully it goes a little bit better, because that last one, my goodness, that was a train wreck right there.
Things just did not work out ever.
All right, what do you got this time, Macho? Let's see it. All right, that's good. Oh, we got him now.
Yeah.
He's toast. Once we get this first... Oh, no, he's not. I mean...
You jinxed your own self.
I jinxed my own self on something that happened in the past. Like, we don't even... It's, you know, this is what happens. Oh, man. All right, but see, we're recovering a little better this time.
Yeah.
This time we're like, good. I think we probably had a brief discussion about what we were going to do during mini spin, because Zallard was like, look, we're going to do the face punches. And I was like, yeah, I don't know why I wasn't doing the face punches. And so we kind of had regrouped on that whole situation. That was just like mental error.
Yeah.
And then here there was a trouble of throwing the face punches too fast, so we had to practice that as well later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was still going way better. And get these star punches in. Being on 1 heart does not inspire confidence, but we don't know we're on 1 heart, so actually we're probably like feeling pretty good right about now.
Yeah. I mean, we did everything perfect at that point.
Yeah.
We'll only know when you can't punch after the first face punch.
And then knowing we have 3 stars.
Oh wait, maybe we didn't do that. Let's see.
Yeah, no, we had. Well,
no, we did. We did reverse.
We had 3 stars, so
that's right.
Yeah, we need to do the reverse there, I think. So now we're gonna be able to use all 3 stars. So even though Macho gets a pretty huge refill there because we've taken damage, like look at his health now. He's toast. You're done, Macho.
Yeah, that heart didn't even come into play.
No, it didn't. It didn't. We took him down. All right. Now for Tyson. So this was the furthest we had ever gotten in a run. We're like, oh my god, okay, so we lost to Macho once, but we still beat him. Like I think we had other runs before where we just lost to him like multiple times, and we were like, screw this.
Yeah.
So this is the one where we actually get to Tyson. And yeah, I don't know if it's gonna go so hot. We must be having some discussion right now about something. We must be. Remember, guys, that the mic is not on when we're doing these recordings. We didn't see any need to record audio, like our mic audio. So yeah, if you're wondering why we're taking so long before a fight, we're having some kind of back and forth about what we're gonna do in some situation.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine probably round 3 stuff, because that was the most complex thing that we were thinking about in terms of Tyson at the time.
All right, so this is all standard stuff, guys. This is the buffer, round 1. All we're trying to do is get this buffer, which is pretty elementary.
You're probably about to jinx me, because there was one fight where I quick dodged into the uppercut.
Please don't let this be the one. This might be it. We haven't seen this, guys. We have not seen this PB ever. Like we don't know. Okay, we don't even know what happened.
This one was safe.
Okay, we're safe. We're at least gonna get to round 2 here. Round 2 is happening. Zallard is just looking to land between 5 and 12 of these dodge into punches. You want to get Tyson's health to about half.
Yeah.
Once it gets to half, then it's not going to go back up. But if it goes low, he will gain health back when he punches you. So it's almost like getting him down lower than half is not really going to benefit you that much all the time.
Yeah.
But this is good. This is looking good. So Tyson's health is right where we want it to be. We're headed into round 2. No need to use select. We're gonna save that for round 3. And we know we got our chance. This is our chance. This is our chance to finish our first run of 2 players, 1 controller, blindfolded. We haven't finished a run yet. Can we do it? So far, so good.
Yep. That's your standard intro for the very start of round 2.
Looking good.
Yeah, that's about where we want the time to be. Like, high 40s is ideal, I would say, in terms of skipping minute 30 and 2:30.
Yeah, so we're in good shape here. We get the buffer. We can burn some stars here.
Yeah, so like the other strategy that we did, we would burn all of the stars and he would have less health. So this would probably knock him down in like one of the first punches.
Oh,
I see.
Yeah, getting punched there. That is not what I expected.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I mean, anything that beats us in terms of Tyson, it's a round 2 error. It has to be. So
yeah, this is bad now. Now we're in very bad shape, especially if we end up getting a knockdown here, which it looks like we're gonna. Oh no, this is even worse. The later you get this knockdown here,
yeah, this is.
Then he's gonna get a much bigger health refill, and then round 3 is gonna be bad. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's not looking good, ladies and gentlemen.
We wish we would get to round 3 on this fight.
Yeah, we might not even make it to round 3. This is. Oh no.
Oh, that's awful.
Oh god. Okay, so now he's gonna get a massive refill into round 3, which round 3 is the nightmare. Round 3 is the stone cold nightmare. You never want to go to round 3 against Tyson.
That's not even enough time to land a punch.
Nope.
No, he's just got all of the health, and we're going into round 3. That's the worst possible situation.
At least we got select.
We did have select.
We had select. We're gonna gain some health back, but this is looking like.
Watch it be like 1 hit point. Yeah, we were talking like, this sucks. What happened?
No, I was probably reviewing with you. I was probably like, okay, we're gonna start with 8 hearts. We're gonna get to 6 if we get out of pink. It's gonna be 3 off the knockdown.
Yes.
Because I had basically developed all the backups for round 3. That's when Zallard was doing the stuff when he was at his family's place and he was figuring out the Tyson stuff for round 2. I was figuring out the stuff for round 3.
Yes.
Which is essentially we have some methodology to just drain the hearts. If you do get to that pink status, you can buffer your way back into getting a bunch of punches. So right here, we're gonna, oh, I think you're late on that.
Probably.
No, maybe not. Okay, so this is what we can do. So now we're gonna return to 6 hearts. We know we have 6 hearts again. Base punch him. We get this free. Dodge here. Oh, no wonder we got, oh, we had him. We were in good shape there. We were in good shape.
I don't know how I ducked that.
That's amazing.
I didn't react to that in time. That was the problem I was having at that time. I was like having a rough time like converting in my head like, oh, he hit me, hold left.
Right.
That was like kind of a struggle for me for like a little bit until like AGDQ.
And then you weren't ready there on the 3 hearts. So that was one thing we had to go over quite a bit. So same situation as Macho. We had decided like, you know, look, there's a good chance we're going to lose to Tyson in the marathon. If we lose to him, we'll just password back to him. We'll try to use up, you know, we'll use up our estimate. If we can get him under the estimate, great. If not, then, well, you know, we failed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's password time. This one, I think we're not going to struggle with.
No, not as much because this one's like burned into our muscle memories.
Yes.
So. Yeah, I think we were just discussing, like, why did he have so much health on phase 1 or whatever?
Yeah. And I probably went over again with the 3 heart variation.
Yeah.
With you, because I had practiced those a bunch, but we hadn't had a chance to practice them together as much yet.
Yeah, yeah, because like at this point, you know, like Sinister said, I was practicing round 2, he was practicing round 3.
Yeah.
So like he was, this was kind of our last session to compare notes and kind of just catch up with, you know, the current strategies for what we want to do for Tyson.
At the marathon itself, we did a lot of round 3, and we were ready for round 3.
Yeah,
I would say
at that point,
I was confident if we went to round 3 that we had a good chance. I felt good about it. So yeah. Yeah,
at the start of when we were doing this, we had just like kind of assumed round 3 was going to be game over no matter what for us. Like that's how little confidence we had at first.
Yes, but ultimately, it just goes to show. So some of our methodology we can explain. Well, you know, like one of the things that I did was for round 3 specifically, I would just try things first with eyes open. So that's how you start. You kind of do eyes open stuff. You figure out what works. You're like, okay, could this work? And then once you figure that out, then you can go ahead and test it blindfolded, confirm that you can actually do it blind, and then you're good to go. So for me, it was just, let me make sure that there's a consistent heart situation, which thankfully there is, and let's make sure that the buffer works, and then there's a consistent way to drain the hearts. So it's not perfect because Zallard has to have a very fast reaction time if we do get to round 3, because what essentially happens is the B button and A button trump the D-pad buttons. So what I'm doing is I'm draining the hearts, and Zallard is actually holding left well before he has to dodge. And he's just waiting to hear that sound effect of him dodging, and he immediately has to release left and repress it, which is very hard to do.
Yeah, and it's like, when he's draining hearts, it's fine, but if Tyson punches me, then I have to react faster, because that's 3 hearts that are just drained immediately, and I have to be ready. And I have to listen to the punch and then know that, okay, we've got no hearts, I've got to be ready on the dodge.
And it's tough. Like, I mean, you know, this stuff might look easy when you're watching it, but to do it, I mean, it probably actually doesn't look easy when you're watching it either, but it's just not. There's nothing easy. So this time we're in great shape here.
Yeah, we skipped 130. It's going to be a matter of like, can we get this buffer and skip 230 and land these punches? And
the pressure was off. We'd already lost to Tyson once. It's just like, let's just get this thing done. And then once you get into this situation, you know, it's pretty much done. I mean, unless I mess up a punch.
I don't know.
Okay, we're good. We're good. So that was it.
Yeah. There was one fight where, obviously it wasn't that one, but where you punched too early and we were about to win, and then it threw us into round 3.
Yes,
you remember that one?
That did happen. So so that was our very first completed run. That was it, guys. We got about a 38. It was a high 38, I think. Even I don't remember the exact time, but it was a high 38-minute time that we finished. You can see we lost to both Macho and Tyson, which is what we were afraid of. It's exactly what happened. We had reason to be afraid. It was, these were likely outcomes. And that run was 5 days before we played on the big stage.
Yeah.
5 days.
5 days.
And we didn't have much practice in those 5 days because, we first of all, we had both traveled to AGDQ. We only practiced, I would say from that moment on, from that PB, we probably only practiced a total of like maybe 8 hours. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I honestly feel like it was less than that.
I think it was. So that was our first completed run, guys. So we at least knew from there, hey, we could beat the game at AGDQ.
Yeah.
It's not impossible. There's a chance, and
yeah, there certainly was a chance. It wasn't a good one, but we had a chance.
It was not a good chance. I mean, you have to imagine, think about how you would feel if that was your last run before you went to the event. Like 2 losses, having to put in the password multiple times. That does not inspire confidence. For any of you that have run in GDQ before, you know that you want to have like tons and tons and tons of completed runs under your belt. Good runs.
Good runs.
That wasn't even a good run.
No, that was just one run.
That was just a run that we happened to finish by using the password on 2 fights. Like, that's what we had to go on. But I think in some ways it was good for us because it made us realize, like, hey, these are the things we know we need to focus on for the event. And then when we did get to the event, like, even though we had that limited time, we knew what to spend it on, more or less.
Yeah. Yeah, like, the crunch time was pretty real in terms of like, hey, we need to do a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
We need to be ready for all of the things that we messed up on. So, I mean, we focused on everything. We routed a handful of things, just really minor things. The Sandman one being like the most significant.
Right. All right, so let's talk, guys, a little bit about the on-site. So we're gonna talk a little bit about on-site, and then we'll go into showing our actual run and giving you guys the commentary there. I'm gonna talk first about how I was kind of feeling going into it, and then you can kind of say what you were feeling. But there was a point in time in our practice. This was probably around, I would say it was maybe in early December. I think it was after the first time that we fought Macho and got destroyed.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, I didn't tell Zallard this, but I remember thinking that, if we don't make some big steps, man, I'm gonna call this thing. Like, I'm canceling the run. Like, we can't go up on stage and just not have a chance of what we're doing. So thankfully we were able to pull things together well enough, but you can see even by the time we get to this point, it's like not super confidence inspiring. So heading into the marathon, I was like kind of, just at the point where it's like, okay, we'll do our best. We have a chance. It's not a good chance. Maybe we'll clutch it out. If we don't, what's the worst that can happen is, maybe we go over estimate a little bit. Maybe we can't beat Tyson and we have to beat him with our eyes open. Like, it's not the end of the world.
I tried to reframe it just like, if we get far, people would like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it would pretty much, like, people would just think like, oh, that's just really hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was fun watch.
So if you had to rate confidence level for the run on a scale of 1 to 10 before we went to the event, flying, like you're on the plane, what's your confidence rating?
Like 1 out of 10? Or,
one being low and 10 being high.
Yeah, maybe like 3.
Wow.
It was bad. I was thinking of so I constantly focus on worst case scenario things.
Okay.
I was thinking like, at least in terms of completing the run, if you're talking about completing the run, I was thinking like, this is bad.
Yeah.
This is real bad.
Yeah.
But we could put on a good show, right?
Okay.
But yeah, I was not confident in our ability to win. When we got to the event and we started practicing and things finally started coming together, I'd say it boosted me up to like a 7.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So like it was a big jump. It was a really big jump.
So I would say for me, I was a little more confident than you going into it.
Yeah.
For a couple of reasons. I knew for one that I personally had not executed at the level that I would in the marathon when we were playing together. Like,
okay.
I knew that I was still making a lot of mistakes. I wasn't on my A game yet. So I was like, you know what? Once we get in there and once we get the blindfolds on, I'm going to play a little bit better. That's still not going to count for everything, but it's going to be at least a little. So I was probably at like a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
Going in. And then once we had practiced it at the marathon itself, I was probably at like maybe 6 or 7,
okay.
I guess I would say. So it was the same place, but I'll tell you this. Once we got on the stage, it was like 10.
10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before the run. Like, I just, for some reason, and I didn't want to say anything either, but I was like, man, we're about to 14 and know this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, but I felt like we had it in the bag for some reason. It makes no sense whatsoever, but...
I'm trying to think of, like, when I knew that we had the chance.
Well, we'll get to that when we get into the run.
Yeah.
So...
I'm saving the thoughts, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. We gotta have that. So let's see here. So we had 2 times practicing, guys, and the first time we practiced, I remembered we were getting interrupted quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I was not shy about telling people that they needed to leave us alone.
Yes. I mean, part of the problem was just that the private practice room, for anyone who doesn't know, the private practice room is like sectioned off. It's like away from the main practice room so that people who are like about to do their run can just have practice, secluded so they could just focus on the gameplay. But at the time, there was no indication that it was the private practice room. It was just kind of a practice room that was really close. A room. Yeah, it just looked like a room.
People playing video games in there.
People would walk in and, like the attendance cap also was heightened. So there was a lot of people that were new that didn't really know the, what's going on there. And that combined with there being no sign.
Yes.
Like people just didn't know. And it's not their fault. It's just
it's not their fault. We don't wear our blindfolds in practice. So, like, it's hard sometimes for people to just notice that, like, we have our eyes closed. They're like, oh, they're just playing Punch-Out. Cool. And they'll come over and, like, start talking to you. And then it's like, we're, like, sitting there trying to concentrate with our eyes closed. And we're like, oh, shut up. But, so our practice was, like, not quite what we were hoping for, to the point that we almost were, like, going to set up a CRT in somebody's room and just do it there. But ultimately, it helped us out because it prepared us for an environment that was not completely silent. Yeah. Which the stream room was not. So it worked out in the end, I think.
Yeah. Like I don't know about you, but like the 2016 race, I practiced in the public practice room constantly.
Right.
I mean, I know it's different when we have like this communication element going on.
Right.
But, I did appreciate like, the real life kind of practice in terms of the environment that we have to perform in.
Yeah. It was more, I think you were more like okay with it. I was like, come on, people. I was a little exacerbated with it because I knew that we weren't where we needed to be, and I was like, I'm very like goal focused. Like, we need to hit this. We need to get these many. And like, we were originally trying to get in like 3 or 4 practice sessions. Yeah. But we ended up getting in only 2 because of other external variables. Yeah. But ultimately, we had productive practice. We got our round 3 Tyson on. Yeah, we were able to fix that.
We were finally winning round 3 Tyson, and not even just by decision, but like TKO.
We were just straight up beating him. Yeah. So that started to boost the confidence. That's when I started really feeling it. I was like, if we can beat him in round 3, we got a real shot at this thing.
I would say that's when it jumped from 3 to 7. Was when I started seeing Tyson, like even when things go off the rails in round 2. Like if that doesn't matter anymore, if it happens, like we're ready for round 3.
Right. So anyway, so we did our practice, and then day 2 of practice was a lot easier. There weren't as many people coming in and out of the practice room, so we were able to actually have like solid practice. Right. And we also were able to find something I found by accident. We had kind of theorized before that this might be a thing, but we realized like Zallard had gone to go. I think he went to go get a quick bite, or maybe he went to the bathroom or something. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to test this while he's gone. And I just messed around with Sandman to see like, okay, if I get hit, can I skip the Dreamland Express? And I was able to get it a bunch of times in a row. And he came back and I was like, hey, I think this works. Let's try it. This is like hours before our run.
Yeah,
you generally don't want to put something in hours before your run, but this was a good exception, I think.
Yeah, I mean, what ultimately made me feel like we should accept it was just that, you know, if we make a mistake, that's what happens to us anyways. And it's good because that's literally what happened to us in our run, and it worked.
Right.
So,
Worked,
I mean, you'll see a working example of that shortly.
It worked out. All right. So with that, I think we're ready to talk about just the pregame of the run.
Yes.